This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories are Twitter blue, gold, gray. What color will you be? GM and LG get $2.5 billion battery loan from the Department of Energy. Rivian pauses Mercedes-Benz electric van partnership after just 3 months. 5 sites for free Christmas carols, karaoke, and festive songs. These stories lead the show today, and I want to welcome you to episode 1640 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, December 12th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Support for this show can also be contributed to at geeknewscentral.com/insider by becoming a Geek News Central Insider. I want to welcome every single one of you to the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out the podcast. If you're brand new to the show, make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. We want you to get subscribe or follow to the show. The link is right in the top right-hand corner of the website. Link to the newsletter is a little further down. The newsletter contains everything I'm going to talk about today. But make sure you get subscribed to this show. And again, you can do that by visiting geeknewscentral.com. You can always join our chat room at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server. Just let me know that you're a fan of the show, and I will definitely let you in. Pre-approvals are required. Of course, we've got a Discord channel as well. Those links are within the show notes at geeknewscentral.com. You can always contact me at email, geeknews@gmail.com, or on Twitter at geeknews. Those are the 2 fastest ways to really reach out. And, of course, you can follow me on Facebook as well just by searching for my name. All of our partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com. That includes the new media show, The Gadget Professor, Mr. Don Bain. We've got the GNC Weekend Review with Kirk and Scott. And again, check those shows out. Definitely consider listening and following and subscribing to them as well. It's greatly appreciated when you do. Of course, this show is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast known in the podcasting space. Since June of 2005, GoDaddy has been a longtime sponsor, and you can find those deals at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, and save money, 30% off new product purchases. And I tell you what, it is time. It is time to recession-proof your life. Get online, start a business, do something cool. Pick up a $4.99.com as well for new or transferred domains for new customers only, or one of the 2 best hosting deals available in the absolute known universe, $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain. That's $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain, or $2.99, yes, $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year, and also includes a free domain name. Incredible deal. Oh, that's not all. Free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal business to business plus plans. That's 1 month free trial. Geek News Central listeners save an average of 94% per purchase on GoDaddy hosting accounts with an average of $3.50 on each GoDaddy domain name. These codes work. Use these promo codes. Click on them to win. Copy them into your browser. Use the promo code when you're checking out. It's the best way to support this show. It really, really is. By becoming a GoDaddy customer and picking up a new GoDaddy product or service, you are just like writing a check. You're just like writing a check to the show. Definitely think about it. Go over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And really, I want to thank GoDaddy for being, it's incredible, this run we've had with them all these years. Truly, we would not be able to do, and I would not be able to do what I do here in this studio. There would be something else that would have to happen. I'd have to shut the studio down. I'd have to go do the show from home. There's a whole bunch of things that would not happen if they weren't supporting the show. So it's important for me to just express that and let all of you know how much of a difference they make to this podcast. And I think you know that already. It's not like anybody's getting rich, nothing like that, but we are sustaining through and keeping the show online and moving and able to continue to pay the writers of this podcast as well, because some of the money I earn from the GoDaddy sponsorship goes right back to the writers that are writing the blog posts on the website, kept the content free and keeping the content fresh. And, to be honest with you, at the beginning of last year, I had considered a slowdown on blogging, but I pushed through to try to keep everyone in at the same rates, keep everything going, because of all the increased cost on everything. I'm affected as well from the full spectrum of things. So we appreciate your support of GoDaddy here at Geek News Central. I also appreciate all of you that are insiders that are making your $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 a month contributions, and sometimes those one-time donations as well are greatly appreciated. So here's the skinny. I will not be back with you after this episode until I think the 29th, 2+ weeks. There'll be no show the day after Christmas, obviously, because the 26th national holiday here in the United States, and just not a lot's going to be going on. So the 29th will be the next show I'm with you, and then immediately I leave for Las Vegas for CES. I fly out the 2nd or the 3rd of January to go to Vegas, and then I'll be there through, come back here to Monday the 9th. I don't fly back until Monday the 9th of January. Now, here's the insane part. I've been called for federal jury duty. I'm excused the 2nd through the 9th, but after that, I'm on call for jury duty. So who knows what's going to happen with that, but continue to try to do the show on schedule. But there's obviously going to be a little bit of a time off here, largely because of CES, because that week of the 2nd, the team is ready to go. We've got 2 locations in Las Vegas to be able to broadcast from. Lots of people that are showing interest in being on our live event. Just been getting hammered really since about November 15th with pitches. It just doesn't stop. So lots of stuff going to happen here. So there will be the week of CES will be live streaming here at Geek News Central that entire week. So I believe it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There may be some content on Wednesday the 4th. But again, all the content, I'll have a sticky post at geeknewscentral.com. I have the YouTube embeds up at live.geeknewscentral.com. Tried to do my best to get things actually out on the audio stream as well. So we're streaming live on the audio piece. That isn't planned yet, but because I'll be able to do a live feed announcement, we'll be able to go for the 10 hours or so each day live from that event, and you can tune in on the audio stream as well. So lots of preparation for that. So don't worry, lots of things going on with the show. Just for the next 10 days or so, I'm going to literally disconnect and do the best I can to take really a true break here. So, but anyway, that's what's going on. And don't forget about Podcasting 2.0 and the value for value. If I provide value for you during this show, feel free to use a new podcast app at newpodcastapps.com. Get involved in the value for value model. And some of you are already streaming Satoshis to me. I do want to thank you for that. I'm looking at the list. I want to thank Bob from Dover, New Hampshire, for his contribution as well. He said, "Merry Christmas, Todd." Bob from Dover. And User Bree Guy for great content. And then again, we do see some of you are actually pushing the contributions by the minute. Again, Bob via Fountain pushing sats by the minute. This is what I'm talking about here. Dave Jackson via Cast-O-Matic. So go over there and try newpodcastapps.com. And it will change the way you interact with content creators that are participating in this new model. And really, it is an incredible way to build engagement. We're very excited about this. I was showing some of this off to my team earlier today, and immediately a couple of team members were like, wow, we can show participation by, you can see how long someone has listened, if they're contributing by the minute. It just goes on and on and on, the type of things and the insights and the interaction we get from all of you. So, consider this and get on, just grab one of these new podcast apps and give it a run for the money. See what happens. Give it a try. Just do this show. Give it a chance. I want to wish all of you a very early here Merry Christmas. We're still 13 days away from Christmas, but Merry Christmas to you. And but I'll be back here on the 29th. So let me go ahead and get into the stack of stuff. And I tell you, today was the relaunch of Twitter Blue. Twitter Blue, Gold, and Gray. Don't know if Gold and Gray are ready yet. But businesses are going to be able to get a gold check mark. Government employees are going to be able to get a gray check mark, but they all have to pay. They have to pay their $8. I just disconnected myself. They have to pay their $8 a month to get that. And what's interesting here is users must now register a phone number before they get a blue check mark, and they'll temporarily lose verification when changing their handle, photo, or display name. And what is even more interesting, those that have gotten a Twitter verified blue before, like I have, that's going away. He said he is going to be removing everyone that had a verified Twitter Blue check mark. They're gone. Now, you can keep your Twitter Blue with a $8 subscription. So everyone that's not paying an $8 subscription will not get a verified check mark regardless going forward. It doesn't matter if you were verified in the past or not. Some rules are in place with the new Twitter Blue. The new Twitter Blue comes with a price hike for iOS users. So play in your web browser. It's only $8 versus $11. And besides the blue check mark, currently the subscription also comes with the ability to edit tweets, upload videos, and view tweets in reader mode, whatever that means. But anyway, it is back. And I tell you, I really didn't cover it in the intro, but Twitter Files number 5 was released today. And you can see from that commentary on Twitter Files 1 through 5 is really the mindset that was going on with the prior management and teams at Twitter. And I've often said, I've said it on this show, I protect myself, you protect you. I don't need some arbiter of information, someone that thinks they're smarter than me, someone thinks that they know what's better for me to consume, moderating content. I'm a big boy. Back in the 80s, we had this thing called bulletin boards, and it was really pretty much a flame fest at times. And you had to get pretty thick skin. There was no way to put people on ignore. So even the people I didn't want to follow, I had to follow because of the way the threaded system worked in the bulletin board system. In Twitter, you can mute. There's a whole bunch of options. Matter of fact, I was looking at it today. The options on an individual account, if I look at somebody, and I'm not going to do this. I'm Sam's, a friend of mine's, Sam Talks Technology. The Twitter post is up first, but I can select not interested, unfollow, add, remove from list, mute, block, report. There's a whole bunch of options there, right? So if I don't like what Sam has to say, I can take action and he will no longer show up, if I so choose, in my Twitter thread. And matter of fact, some people I've blocked in the past, I've seen retweets that were saying you can't read this because you blocked that person, to be able to see it. And I kept on moving because I knew what that retweet was going to be. I protect me, you protect you. I don't need to be protected. I'm intelligent enough to be able to read and form my own opinion. This is what people don't understand. I don't need someone to control the messaging that I'm hearing. If you really think about it, do we really want other people controlling what we see and hear? Is it all good? Nope. Is it some of it informative? Yep. Is some of it total bullcrap? Yep. Is some of it misinformation? I'm sure. Is it sometimes an opinion that may not be what I like? Absolutely. Isn't that what life's about, right? Being able to listen. Not all of you agree with everything I have to say here. 100%. But I've had a Twitter account many, many, many years. And to me, Twitter had become less valuable to me for a long time because I wasn't seeing the things that I wanted to see. And it turns out, guess what? It was probably because a lot of stuff was being blocked, shadow banned, all these terms. And we read through the Twitter files. If you read through those and look at those posts and the different levels and the whole, all the different teams and this and that, you had got to be kidding me. There is no way I could ever operate at that level. Impossible. Freaking impossible. Can you imagine the mind numbness of having to sit and think about all these different terms and different levels of suspending and silencing and shadow banning and demoting and everything else? They say, can you imagine having to had worked in that? I can't imagine. And it definitely shows because people have lost their mind to think that people are going to be able to be open and expressive on the platform. Now, I am sure there will be lines that will be crossed, that they will have to take action on individuals. Supposedly today they went on a bot hunt. I don't know how many bots they killed, but I'm sure that's a never-ending whack-a-mole thing. They've been talking about on Twitter, and Elon's been talking about specifically child content, inappropriate child content that they've been going after that was largely ignored. I'm talking about child pornography, child type of content like that. Groups are trading in that type of disgusting material. Supposedly, according to a lot of people on the platform, says this has been ignored for years. How come? Why wasn't that focused on? Why weren't the bots focused on? Instead, this nuance of what they said, reading into and interpreting how a post was written, could have meant this or implied that or done this or taken this word out of context. It could be that. Who made them God? Obviously, they were a public company, privately held. They were a public company, but they're a private company. They can set the rules they want to set. But it is amazing to me how many great conversations I'm seeing on the platform right now. Not just about the Twitter politics. It's about everything. I'm seeing stuff on here I haven't seen in years. Spending more time on Twitter than I am on Facebook. Definitely more entertaining. getting more interactions. So Mastodon is fun too. I'm on Mastodon as well. I'm having very pointed, specific discussions on Mastodon. Stuff that I exactly want to look at and follow. So, yes, I am on Twitter. I am paying for Twitter Blue. Paid my $8 about an hour ago. We'll pay it every month. Happy to. Trying to get one of my other accounts, some other access to be able to stream live on Twitter as well. I'd love to get that, but don't know if that'll ever happen. So, what say you? Have you left Twitter? You can't handle it? geeknews@gmail.com. geeknews@gmail.com is a place to send me your email. You've got a few weeks to do so, okay? Now, ironically, and I'm not saying Elon Musk is a saint. Don't get me wrong. There's a report out in Business Insider that the Twitter account that tracks Elon Musk's private jet has been shadow banned. I think if I owned Twitter and I had someone dedicated to tracking me, I might shadow ban them too. Jack Sweeney's shared message appears to show that his account was subject to a visibility filtering. He runs more than 30 plane tracking accounts that share publicly available data. He basically took to Twitter on Sunday and accused the social media platform of suppressing the automated account. He says, my Twitter files. An anonymous Twitter employee informed that his Elon Jet account was visibly limited, restricted to a severe degree internally. He also shared what appeared to be an internal message from Ella Irwin, Twitter's new head of trust and safety, requesting that Elon Jet be subjected to heavy visibility filtering. So, no one's been able to independently verify this, but so we'll see. And we know that Elon's taken issues with jet tracking accounts before, but it is public data. Here's what I would say to anyone that's pissed off about this kind of stuff. Start a website that you own on your .com that you can send people to where it can't be shadow banned or blocked. Get your own website, dude. Put it on your own platform. Control your own destiny. Don't be a victim of a product or service. And this is what I've said forever on this show. This is why GeekNewsCentral.com exists, is a place for me to call home, to send you to. If something ever happens, you can find me there. So when someone cries, I'm being shadow banned, then go get your own website. Build your own traffic. Build volume. I bet you a lot of people would follow that website. I bet you a lot of people would support the ads on that. Lots of ways to monetize. Doesn't have to be on Twitter. Don't build your castle on rented land. Don't build your castle on a platform where the business can change. Yes, I will use the tools to the best of my ability while they exist, but I'll also have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. Geeknews.chat. What is geeknews.chat? It's a backup plan. It is a Mastodon chat server I own, I control, I have the keys to. As long as I pay the bill, it stays online. How difficult is Blueberry launched a Mastodon chat, blueberry.chat. We're making it available for our Blueberry customers. If they want an account, we verify them, they can get on and have one. Why? Because we understand this. Give them options. And if you haven't tried Mastodon, you can. You got access to one right here on this show. Don't have to fight for a sign up somewhere. Come on, nerd out with me a little bit. Yes, getyourown.com. That's right, James. Absolutely. That way you control your destiny. And then you can use all these other social platforms again, push people over. Yes, you'll have to work. You have to work to build engagement. All right. General Motors and LG, wow, have received $2.5 billion. Yes, $2.5 billion for a company called Ultimate Cells, a joint venture between GM and LG Energy Solutions. It will build batteries for the automaker's new range of EVs. The funds will help with the construction of 3 new battery plants in the United States, in Lansing, Michigan, Lordstown, Ohio, and Spring Hill, Tennessee. So I wonder, when people start buying these vehicles with batteries, with loans, I wonder if they're going to complain like they are about Tesla. Oh, Tesla got money from the government. Well, everyone gets money from the government. So, but, GM and LG, this new company, $2.5 billion. How do I get on some of that cash? How do I set up a Ponzi scheme like Sam Bankman? How do I do that and not get thrown in jail? Rivian has paused Mercedes-Benz electric van partnership just after 3 months. Well, Rivian's lost like $7 billion this year. So just 3 months after announcing the partnership, they said, we need to concentrate on our own business. At this point in time, we believe in focusing on our customer business as well as our existing commercial business represents the most attractive near-term opportunity to maximize value. Well, they got to quit burning cash. They are one of the best funded EV startups, but they are laying off 6% of its workforce in an effort to cut costs. They've hiked prices on vehicles just about like everyone else. They're not the only ones in trouble. We talked about in the last show how another EV company basically shut down because it was too expensive to manufacture stuff. So on a more fun note, as we're preparing for the Merry Christmas, MakeUseOf.com has 5 sites for free Christmas carols, karaoke, and festive songs. Embrace the season, the Christmas carols and karaoke. Break the mics out, and there's a few sites for great Christmas music. They recommend, of course, Radio Santa Claus. Never heard of it, but I bet you it's great. They recommend Tinsel and Tunes, Musical Advent Calendar, 'Tis the Season to Be. I guess these are all independent sites. The Hymns and Carols of Christmas. So anyway, link will be up in the show notes if you're looking to fill the ability to entertain and sing. And I don't do karaoke. I've done karaoke at 2 o'clock in the morning in a Japanese bar in Tokyo with drunk Japanese. I do not do karaoke. Carvana. Well, if you got stock in this, sorry. Yahoo Finance worst company of the year. Well, Yahoo is a shell of its former self. So, but they voted this the worst company of the year. The overall market down 17%, Carvana's wheels came off. The online used car merchant lost 97% of its value through December 9th. Wow. The company started the year an investor darling and ended up as a bankruptcy policy. And, of course, the best company of the year, you shouldn't have any problems knowing this brand, Costco. Costco is the best stock of the year. And that was wild. And but anyway, Costco was number one. Now let me look at the rest that were worst. Well, these were votes. Okay, so voted was Meta, Tesla, Carvana, Disney, Amazon, Peloton, Upstart, Coinbase, Novavax, and Excella. Those were who voted on. But stock performance was Meta, Tesla, Carvana, Disney, Amazon, Peloton, Upstart, Coinbase, Novavax, Excella. I don't own stock in any of these. So, remember, I've told you guys what I've been told in the past. And if you'd listen to my advice, when I gave it to last time, my non-official advice, you guys would all be on the sidelines right now. So anyway, you wouldn't have dumped so much cash. In my opinion, it might be time to start buying some bargains, but I know nothing about investing, and any advice that you get from me can be considered absolutely non-professional and just someone shooting in the dark. All right? And you'll probably lose every penny. Jeff Bezos and GMA host Michael Strahan stars in the new Blue Origin Kid Space Show. Whoa, a kids' space show. Blue Origin's getting its own kid-friendly animated space adventure called the Blue Origin Space Rangers. Production company Genius Brands announced it today. The children's series will feature voices of Bezos, who founded his space tourism business, Blue Origin, as well as Good Morning America host Michael Strahan, who is a pastor in December 2021. Blue Origin Rangers will also include voice talent of other guest stars like junior astronauts, celebrities, and adult leaders. The coming series will be a learning opportunity. Now, is this going to be a podcast, or what is this going to be on? It doesn't say if it's going to be a podcast or a video series or what. But anyway, link will be in the show notes for you to check it out. Should be a good one. Ticketmaster, which is a company I have never, ever, in the life of the existence of the company, been able to buy a single concert ticket ever from. Ticketmaster's in hot water again, facing a fine after an unprecedented number of people are sold fake tickets to a Bad Bunny concert. And I don't even know who Bad Bunny is. I guess he's some sort of, by looking at his picture, he might be a rapper. I don't know. And I apologize. I don't know what kind of genre music this guy has. But they apologize after an unprecedented number of people were sold fake Bad Bunny tickets. The head of Mexico Consumer Protection Agency says the company now faces a fine. It follows Ticketmaster's Taylor Swift debacle last month. So basically, they sold too many tickets and caused an unusual overcrowding event. Wow. The company said those were sold real tickets, but entry would be refunded. So maybe they were actually sold real tickets. Yeah, they sold real tickets, but oversold. LG has its first 27-inch OLED gaming monitor. Arrives in January for $1,000. Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm a big fan of OLED monitors. And if this is a gaming monitor, a 27-inch gaming monitor, it's going to make a great edit monitor as well. The spec sheet reads like every monitor wish list you've probably seen in the last few years. It features a 27-inch with a 2560 by 1440 resolution. It's not that great. A claimed 0.03 millisecond gray to gray response time and a 98.5% DCI-P3 coverage with a native 240 hertz refresh rate. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So it means that this is a good fit for games where your GPU can't deliver a constant 240 frames per second. So anyway, it's going to come in at about $1,000. And I'm not a gamer, but sounds like a pretty nice monitor regardless, but a big 1,000 shimoles. This I don't understand. I don't understand why anyone would ever want a manual transmission ever again. Lexus is developing a manual transmission for EVs. Why? Manual transmission is making a comeback, largely thought to be clunky, outdated, and inconvenient. The stick shift is finding its way into unlikely place electric vehicles. Lexus Toyota's luxury auto brands working making manual transmission, according to auto publication Evo magazine. Lexus hoping to augment an entire combustion-powered driving experience in a low-carbon EV, combining a highly engaging driving experience with a more efficient, environmentally friendly car. It won't be really. How are you gonna put a clutch in there? Really? And they're working on a manual transmission. I'd like to try it, but it won't really. It seems kind of weird, doesn't it? There has to be limits. So you're going to have a tack. You won't have a tack. Will you have an energy thing that shows when you're pulling too many amps, or what will it be? I don't know. You think about that a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. That they're going to have a clutch. Many of you even know what a clutch is. Clutch and a manual shift. Okay. Well, we will see. Amazon's been sued by the District of Columbia for stealing driver delivery tips. I didn't even know you could give delivery. You didn't even know you could give tips to Amazon drivers. If they just get it to my door instead of throwing it in the yard or on the wrong porch, I might consider it. Washington's D.C. Attorney General is suing Amazon, seeking civil penalties for allegedly misleading consumers who thought they were tipping delivery drivers but had the money diverted to cover the courier's base pay. The case filed in Washington, D.C. Superior Court cites a 2021 settlement between the company and the FTC in which the agency found that Amazon withheld tips meant for its gig economy drivers for more than 2 years. The company pledged the drivers to receive 100% of the value of the tips, but Amazon said to use a portion of the gratuities to pay the base rate of its drivers. The Seattle-based company agreed to pay $617 million, or $61 million to settle the matter. Did they give the drivers their cash? Don't know. Kind of reminds me of this thing that's going to happen next year in the United States, where if you send someone, and I wonder if how this is going to work. Let's say I send you $51 a month on PayPal for a service, and at the end of that year, you have earned over $600, obviously. You're now going to get a new 1099, it sounds like, from PayPal or Cash App or other people. I wonder if they'll track those individual payments and add them up from you going to a certain person, or how it's going to work. But next year, you start getting a lot of payments for goods and services. You'll be getting some stuff for the IRS, and I've gotten stuff from the IRS from PayPal for years. Guys over their $20,000 amount for a long, long time, and I get they send off my earnings, basically to Amazon, to the IRS. So my PayPal stuff has been part of my accounting from day one, from 2005. All my PayPal stuff gets pulled because I have a separate business PayPal account, and I have a personal PayPal account that I rarely use. And it was more critical when I was running a corporation. I had to really have, 100% separation of church and state, because you that no mixing pots. Now that I'm at LLC, as long as I document everything as a business or personal and take the stuff that's personal processes out of the basically the it can't claim as a deduction, I'm okay. But this is going to be interesting to see what happens in the U.S. after you hit that $600 limit with somebody. You can still donate. I don't know. There's some rules. Like you can send your kids money, I think, and not have to report that. But if it's for goods or service, it's like something with Etsy or whatever. That's going to get reported. Amazon CEO has been putting a stamp on the company. Purports 4 new leaders. The new members are Steve Boom, Vice President of Amazon Music. He's been with Amazon for more than a decade. Candy Castleberry, Vice President of Global Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, was hired last year. Judith Madden, Vice President of Transportation at Amazon, joined the company in 2008 as a software engineer. Rob Williams, Vice President of Device, a degree in computer engineering from University of Waterloo, has been with Amazon from 2013. So, some people are moving on up, getting a pay raise and more responsibility. The U.S. Department of Justice split over charging Bianca, B-I-N-A-N-C-E, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Beyonce, as a crypto world falters. Apparently, splits between the U.S. Department of Justice are delaying a conclusion of a long-running criminal investigation that's been going on since 2008, focusing on Beyonce's not the artist, the company, compliance with U.S. anti-money laundering laws and sanctions. Some of the at least half dozen federal prosecutors involved in the case believe the evidence already gathered justifies basically prosecuting people. And but there's 3 Justice Departments involved and 3 different divisions. So we'll see what happens, but no filings yet. Zhao is probably the one that their founder is probably the one that's the biggest target. Lyft's latest EV incentives include an earning bonus for California drivers. So if you're driving for Lyft and you have an EV, you're going to get up to $150 extra every week through the end of 2024 by completing at least 50 weekly rides. So you get $3 a ride as long as you complete 50 in your EV. What else? Individual earnings limit of $8,100, though. So basically, if you have an EV and you're driving for Lyft, you're going to be able to earn some bonuses, specifically if you live in the state of California. So I'll have the link in the show notes for that. A tense all-hands meeting at Google leaves employees worried about layoffs. Well, this is what's going on. Google CEO won't promise layoffs aren't coming. A tense all-hands where employees once again pushed to see if there was going to be layoffs, and he would not commit saying no, there wouldn't be. And the employees also raised concerns over a performance tool named Grad, and supposed to give them feedback on their quote-unquote performance. I like results-oriented performance reports. You deliver what you have been asked to do in a timely and on-time manner. I think your report should reflect that. If you're late in delivering product that you were agreed to in a timely manner, your bonus should go down, or your performance evaluation could down. Twitter is going to let us know if we've been shadow banned, which is good. And apparently the Royals are ruling Netflix. I guess that's being big on Netflix right now. And the actual Royals are not very happy at the moment. Lots of finger pointing and nastiness going on there. And the feds have the opportunity to arrest Sam Bankman-Fried because he's agreed to appear before lawmakers this week. So we'll see if they put cuffs on him before he gets out of the country. Maybe he's got some sort of deal already where he won't. But, of course, lawmakers want answers on FTX collapse, and Sam may not have them because I largely think, in my opinion, he's probably clueless. Doesn't know where all the Ponzi schemes are buried. And this model CEO, as he self-described himself, that he's going to testify. Committee members may not get any more clarity than Andrew Ross Sorkin of the New York Times or George Stephanopoulos of Good American Dairy when they recently grilled him on Friday. SBF indicated on his Twitter thread that there could be questions that he might not be able to answer fully. You can be guaranteed he's going to be there with attorney 2 or 3 or 5. And so we'll see what happens. But anyway, should be a little bit of entertaining news for later in the week. SpaceX has launched a private mission to the moon. The Tokyo company iSpace, which basically is a part of this venture, including the United Arab Emirates, are sending a Japanese robot to the moon's near side. It's going to take about 5 months to get there. I don't know why it's going to take so long. Slow boat to Russia, I guess. The rocket launched from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida early Sunday. I still have a hard time saying that. So we'll see what happens here. And SpaceX is continuing to crank launches out on a normal schedule. As we talked about in the last show, and it's getting more press, December 2024 set as a date for universal phone chargers in the European Union, and no more rudimentary Apple charger for those new devices. How would you like to be driving a brand new Tesla Model Y, and the car orders you to pull over, then shuts down, even though it has a full charge? Well, this happened to a auto buff who runs a great YouTube channel called TGE TV, has more than 242,000 subscribers. And basically, the car said, hey, pull over. And when he did, the car shut off and he couldn't get out. And he had to use the emergency door release to get out. And for some reason, the window wouldn't come down at all. So it actually busted. Imagine that, busting your driver's window to get the door open when you manually open it. That's very interesting. So the window has to open in order to get the Model Y door open in a normal system? What kind of BS is that? Well, that's what happened. Google has refused Hong Kong's request for a protest anthem. This is surprising. They normally acquiesce to the Chinese. Google's refused to change its search results to display China's national anthem rather than a protest song when users search for Hong Kong's national anthem. The city's security chief said on Monday, expressing great regret at the decision. So wait a minute, let me read that again. Google's refused to change its search results to display China's national anthem. Oh, rather than a protest song. Oh, so the protest song is what's making the top of the search results. The row comes after Hong Kong police said they would investigate the playing of Glory to Hong Kong, the unofficial anthem of the Hong Kong's 2019 pro-democracy protest at the men's final of a sevens rugby tournament in South Korea in November. The song was banned in 2020 after China imposed a sweeping national security law on the financial hub to punish Beijing's defined what by In 2020, after China imposed a sweeping national security law on the financial hub to punish what Beijing defines as secession, subversion, and terrorism. Can't play music because it shows you're a terrorist. At least we're not quite there yet in the United States. Japan's to join the U.S. effort to tighten chip exports to China. The Netherlands is also on this. They sought to act in concert on the new rules. And this is a Bloomberg piece. But Japan and Netherlands agreed in principle to join the U.S. in tightening controls over the export of advanced chip-making machinery, according to people familiar with the matter. Well, they've already stolen everything, so what difference does it make? Three-country alliance represent near total blockade of China's ability to buy the equipment necessary to make leading-edge chips. U.S. rules restricted the supply from American gear supplier Applied Material, Lam Research Corp, and KLA Corp. Japan's Tokyo Electron Limited and Dutch lithography specialist ASML Holdings NV are the two other critical suppliers the U.S. needed to make the sanctions effective. Well, good job on that. On Monday, China filed a dispute over the U.S. export controls with the WTO. Probably the WTO say, bad America. You have to give the Chinese their technology. Don't let them, they have to have it. So it's an interesting move. It really, really is. What say you? geeknews@gmail.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to bring me to the end of the show. We have been lit this time. We've been live on podcast apps like Castamatic and Podverse and Fountain. You've been able to listen if you're over there on those apps. You got a notification on one of those apps. So we definitely want you to consider, again, going to newpodcastapps.com so you can participate in the new podcasting space. Don't be on a legacy app. Don't use Spotify. Don't use Overcast. Don't use Pocket Cast. Well, Pocket Cast might be coming along. They have open source stuff. But for now, get off those legacy apps and get on new podcast apps at newpodcastapps.com. All right, it's been my pleasure bringing the show. As always, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for staying subscribed, being part of the family. Of course, Again, next show will be in a couple of weeks, but you can send me an email, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, at Geek News on Twitter. Follow along for all the excitement. Again, I appreciate everyone's ongoing support of the show. And again, ongoing support of the sponsor as well is greatly appreciated. We've had a pretty good year with GoDaddy, all things considering. I was a little worried at the beginning of the year, but we need to make sure we continue to hit the numbers. So let's finish December strong. Go out there and pick up a product. Use one of my promo codes at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. It's been my pleasure being in the podcast. You all take care. We'll see you after Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy time with your family. I hope you're able to afford to travel, and I won't be able to afford the groceries for Christmas. But be sure to think about those in need, as always. And we definitely appreciate you all, and we'll see you just before the new year. Take care. We'll see you next time here on the Geek News Central podcast. I'm out. Bye-bye.